Okay, I'm going to get cracking on this runner panel. I'm going to introduce each of our speakers. There's a couple more seats at the front. If you want to sit down, you can hear me all right at the back. Just checking. Yep, all good. Okay. Well, welcome for those who haven't been to Coffs Backyard Ultra before. My name's Keelan, the race director this weekend. So first up, Oliver. As I call you in, come take a seat, and then we'll go through the questions. So, Oliver, Sheekey, Annabelle Swainston, Warren Sargent, Stephen Parker, and Clare Palmer. So this is a fairly informal chat. So we'll talk a bit about. I've got some questions to each of these people, and then we'll throw open to some Q&As. And then at the end, I might give a general bit of a race briefing of what to expect tomorrow out on course and things like that. So I'll start by introducing kind of each of our guests and ask them a question each. So first, Clare. Clare is our local legend. Clare's been here every year since we've run it out at Coffs. And you've also won every year as well on a bit of a backyard streak lately as well. Already been down to Sydney, Melbourne, and now back to the big one at Coffs. No, so Clare, so from this time last year, you've done I don't know how many you've done, quite a lot of backyards. What keeps you keep coming back to this format now you've done so many?
Thanks, Keelan. I'm just hooked. I suppose it's because you just want to keep bettering yourself, getting better each time. 34 is my best, and I haven't broke that yet, but I really, really want to. So that's what keeps me coming back.
Just PBing.
Yeah, 100%.
Better.
And plus, it's a great little social community out there running too. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Until it isn't.
Yeah. When isn't it for you?
Probably, I sort of dread going back into the second night. So I've got to get over that fear and just do it this time. That's it. I'm doing it.
Going into the second night?
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. Next along is Stephen Parker. So Stephen's wrote a book about Backyard Ultras, probably the only book maybe out there at this stage. Yeah, so you can find his book inside. And so Stephen, could you talk a bit how you kind of came to writing a book about Backyard Ultras and how that process went and why you ultimately decided to write one and then publish it?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Keelan. Once I discovered Backyard Ultras, I just thought it was the most amazing thing. And every event I went to, there was some fantastic story. And then I'd follow the events overseas, and each one you'd look at, it was just fascinating. And so I'd be following it online, I'd be telling all my friends about it, and just telling them story after story. And I just kept thinking, this is just one of the most exciting growth stories of a race I've ever seen. And there was so much story out there. I started Googling to try and find who else had written about it, and no one else had. And I thought, seriously, someone's got to. Then when I discovered that no one else was working on it, I reached out to the founder, Lazarus Lake, to say, is anyone doing this? Because if not, do you want to help? I'll give it a crack. And he said, yeah, happy to help. And so he gave all sorts of interviews and helped. And to me, it was just as simple as it was a fantastic story waiting to be told. And if no one else was going to do it, I'd give it a crack. And it was lots of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how did that, had you had a history in writing books before?
No. I'd written one small book years ago, but this was the first proper length one.
Wow.
But I'd always thought I'd like to write something, and I was just waiting for the right thing. And I was in the middle of a conference once, and it was just after Biggs. It was the guy behind Atomic Habits was talking. It was a thing called the Global Leadership Summit. And it's while they were talking, I just suddenly started thinking, I reckon I could write a book about Backyard Ultras. And I stopped listening to what they were doing and just started sketching down all these ideas. And those sketches are the 8 chapters of the book that I ended up writing. And so by the time the session was over, I'd planned it out. And it was I wasn't really expecting to do it. It just sort of came out by accident.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Unreal. I'll grab the mic.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't hear it. No, sorry. I'll keep. I'll circle back to everyone. So next along, Warren Sargent. Warren is the creator, administrator, data guru of backyardultra.com.au that has popped up in the last couple of years now. So yeah, similar question to Warren. Like, how did that start, and what kind of drove you to creating that website and investing like slaving away for hours and hours and hours? I can imagine pulling that together.
Yeah, so very similar story to Stephen. Fascinated in the events themselves, and started following all over everywhere. I've been a data nerd / web developer for my whole life, since at least early 90s when I started coding, and so I got really into doing that. But at the start of last year, I had a bit of a fall while I was out running and injured myself, and I went, what better way to use my time than get really into this stuff? And it was stuff I was already researching, so I just started putting the stats together from different events around Australia. Talking to Pato as well, who does the Aussie Backyard Beat with myself, but the Backyard Ultra podcast more importantly. And just realised before Dead Cow that he was doing the live stream for that, looking for some statistics, and so I started putting the site together around that originally, because I was doing the research anyway, and I literally launched it 3 days before Dead Cow last year. Oh, wow. So it's been a year, it's been a whirlwind, and it's just growing every day that I can dedicate more time to it.
Unreal.
So, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Next along is Annabelle Swainston. Annabelle is our local running coach and was the assist here last year. And he just led the Meet the Course social run. Can you talk a little bit about the course? And, you've done a lot of training laps out, night laps, day laps. Could you talk a little bit about what people can expect out there on the course tomorrow?
Hello. Oh, sorry, I think I just turned it off. Is it back on? Yeah, okay.
Is it?
Hello? Am I back on? Okay, thank you. The course is great. It's one of the flattest, most scenic backyards, I think, in Australia. It's a real treat, and we've had our trail fairies out today and yesterday cleaning it up, and it's in really good condition despite having rains 2 weeks ago. It's all very dry, and all the routes have been meticulously spray painted and all that. So it's hello? Yeah? Better? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, I'll bring it really close to the mouth. All right. So it's a great course, and it's going to be a good day out, and we enjoy it. There's basically only one hill on the boardwalk on the way back, which we call the walk hill. Apart from that, it's all flat and easy going. Anything else?
Maybe just hold the mic. I can use my big voice. So next along is Oliver Sheekey. So Oliver was our last male standing last year with 37 yards. And he's come back again, and he's already done got a big year lined up. You've already run Sydney's this year as well, and then you're back here. What brings you back to Coffs, running here again, and what are your plans for tomorrow?
Yeah, so back to Coffs, I just love the course. I reckon out of every course I've done, this is probably the flattest, the easiest to run the most yards. The plan is just to go and win it again, hopefully. So, see how we go with that.
And what are your thoughts on what you could do on this course if you were pushed? How are you feeling like that this course could go suit you, and how do you plan for something that you don't know is gonna when it's gonna end?
I think you've sort of just got to stick in the process. So I don't really have any sort of distance goal. I'm more just trying to do the same thing lap after lap, and then pretty much just go till I can't anymore. So I definitely think 48 plus is possible. So getting into the the Monday. But yeah, we'll see how we go.
Yeah. And so I might jump back down to Clare. So Claire's, yeah, we've run out on this course 2023, 2024, 2025. You've won it every year as well. Like, how do you, approach, like, what's your mindset now, and how has that shifted since you kind of started running these backyard ultras?
Every time I've done one, I've learnt something new.
Yeah.
And I hope I'm getting better.
Yeah.
So
What does that mean for you?
mental,
Yeah.
like getting better in the mind, like
Yeah.
to push further. I know my body, like I'm still coming in with the same times and everything, with plenty of time to spare. Just hopefully no injuries and no gut troubles or anything. And yeah, I've just got to sort my mind out.
And what does that mean for you? Like, what are the things that come up that you're now like working on, or you've like picked up, or to?
I've been running, getting myself up overnight in the middle of the night and doing my runs at night.
Yeah, right.
So just being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I've been practicing that. I even run to work one day.
Yeah. That would be a long run.
It was 48k.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Did you get there on time?
Yeah, I did. I was
Nice.
early. I could have left a bit later, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Classic. And are you still, like, a lot of your training is up and down, and I think we touched on this for those who remember last year, up and down the same road at Glenray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that, like, translate into the backyards? Is that
Yeah.
why you're doing?
Yeah, it is, and it's also it's worked well for that because it's boring, but it's also I run with my dogs.
Yeah.
And it keeps them off the big roads as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's very good because it's just that mind numbing, doing the same lap after lap after lap.
Yeah.
Even my long runs are done on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Question for Stephen. So, like, you've written this book, and how has it kind of been received? Where are you at now that you published it a couple of years ago? Was it?
Yeah, almost 2 years ago now.
Almost 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. So, yeah, how's that gone since you've published the book? You've put it out there, and what? Yeah, I guess what might be,
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, how's it going?
Is there
Yeah.
a sequel coming?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
is there a sequel?
so
I'm not putting pressure on you. to
yeah.
write
So
one.
when I wrote it, I thought, oh yeah, I think it's a pretty good story, but you got no idea whether it's going to be any good or not. So
Yeah.
I can distinctly remember this really strong sense of fear of having it all written and then send it out to a bunch of the top runners around the world to say, can you please read this? And if you like it, can you write something good about it? Sent it out, couple of weeks, nothing, no response. First reply I got back was a really good, one of the best runners in the world, said, yeah, couldn't get into it, not much of a reader. I went, oh crap. But then everyone after that started coming back and saying, loved it, fantastic, loved it. This is so good. And I was overwhelmed with quotes that I could use to put in the book. At the start where you put them on there. If you grab the book, you're going to see Phil Gore, Harvey Lewis, Merrin Gertz, all these guys reading it and saying they loved it. Maybe they just loved it because I was saying nice things about how good they were. But when that feedback came through, that was so awesome. One of the more fun things about having written it is occasionally when I'm running these races, because there's an audio version of it as well.
Okay.
And so I was running at Dead Cow last year, and several times, because I just chat the entire time while I'm running along. It makes it more fun. Several people said, "Hang on, I recognise that voice. I was listening to that yesterday." And it was people who'd heard the audiobook.
So you narrated the audio?
I did,
book?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was really scary, I must say.
Yeah.
But then people would say, oh yeah, I heard your voice. Oh, cool. And just to then be able to meet awesome people that way, it was lots and lots of fun.
Yeah.
So I've got no plans at this stage for a sequel, but I keep on writing down notes here and there. And even since I wrote it, there's been so many events where I've thought, yeah, that would make a pretty good chapter. Like there's so many amazing stories out there. And who knows what happens the next couple of days. Yeah. So
it feels like there's been stories written every week lately.
Oh,
like
for
the
sure.
amount of Backyard Ultra events.
Yeah.
And maybe that's our next question to Warren. Like, since you've had the website, I feel like it's probably been an even bigger explosion in 1 year. Could you talk to like the kind of broadly like the Aussie backyard scene and what you're seeing through the data just generally across Australia and things?
Yeah, so Australia's not too dissimilar to the rest of the world in just the volume of growth. We have a large volume of growth in number of events that is happening year on year on year. This year, I think we've got 36 events, which is larger than any year prior. Next year, we're already looking at having a much larger event. We've got 2 brand new ones that have just announced coming in February, March next year. One in Dalby in Queensland and one in Riverland in South Australia. But yeah, it's in just a year, the amount of growth and the space, how much things have changed has been, pretty amazing. Just the sheer number of yards, the size of the events, literally everything from every aspect of an event.
Yeah.
We're seeing records topple on a weekly basis. We're seeing growth on literally every factor.
Yeah.
And it seems to be fairly exponential at the moment.
Yeah.
There doesn't appear to be a ceiling approaching.
Yeah.
It's hard to know what next year will be. We will see events with 1,000 competitors taking place probably within a year.
Yeah.
This may very well be one of those.
Yeah.
It's just exponential. It's growing and growing and growing from where we started back in 2019 in Australia, 2011 in the US. Just every year on year on year.
So is there more events in Australia than anywhere else in the world?
Probably per capita.
No, not per capita. Per capita would be New Zealand.
Okay.
They have about as many events as Australia does.
Okay.
And they've got far fewer
Yeah,
people than we do, like about a quarter of the people we do. But they have a much higher percentage of events. It really depends, because when you start looking at number of events, per capita is what you need to look at. Otherwise, you look at the US, Canada, even Sweden. Sweden have just huge amounts of events, but none of them get the sort of the volume of runners that we have here in Australia. There's only been 6 or 7 events that have had more than 300 starters.
Okay.
And all of those have been in Australia.
Yeah. So what do you think the reason is for that?
Part of that would be the lack of events per capita.
Yeah.
But another bit is that it just seems to be the format that has really sort of hit the people and gone, I could do that. In the same way that parkrun kicked off and blew up in Australia before it did in a lot of places around the world, people look at it and go, I can do 5Ks. I can do 6.7Ks.
Yeah.
And once you've done 6.7Ks, it's that much easier to convince someone to do 13.4Ks than it is to convince someone to do 6.7 in the first place. So, yeah, it's an easy, accessible format, and just it allows so much, allows anyone to basically step into it and go, you know what, I'll have a crack.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something I think with a lot of our events, we focus more on the community around the events, spoken to a lot more groups, and tried to encourage the entrance to the events as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we've got a lot of first timers, and this question's to Annabelle. A lot of first timers at this event, even a lot of first timers here. Like as a coach, you're also coaching people for this event. Like, what do you have? What's your advice for people who are, doing their first kind of backyard, especially like their first one here at Coffs?
Yeah, I think the backyard is a perfect way to find your own limit of how far you can go with the distance. It's not as scary as you think. 6.7Ks is a relatively achievable amount of time to complete walking and running. It's that 8:57 minute per K, which is a nice sweet spot for a lot of runners. And yeah, just have fun and see how far you can go, find your own finish line.
And for people who, so last year was your first time going, to like breaking through to, you did 24 hours here. When it gets to night, it often gets really hard. What would be your advice to people who are trying to maybe go to the night or, you know, push through the night?
Yeah, I find those milestones are really tantalizing to reach that 15 and then that 24-hour mark. So for me, my goal was to reach the 24-hour mark. And the biggest thing getting me through the night was having people and friends and crew there to support me, to push me to keep going out, even though if I didn't want to at 3 or 4 a.m. And then also having, I think also what helped was the accountability of some people like were coming to cheer me on at 8 a.m. as well. So I didn't want to let them down and not be there.
Yeah. And Ollie, you've run through quite a few like nights. What's your strategy in like your rest time in the day versus maybe your rest time at night? Like what are your strategies that you do, during your rest period?
At night I'm normally trying to run a bit faster, so I'm trying to get some sleep because staying up for 30 plus hours without running is pretty hard. So you add running into it and it becomes even harder. But yeah, obviously the night's a big struggle. So I find often if you can just try to stick with people and sort of take your mind off how you're feeling, because ultimately it's dark, perceived effort increases. You know, there's not going to be as many people out supporting. So I feel like if you can just push through those night laps as best you can, as soon as you get to that second morning especially, the energy boost you get from the sun is just incredible. So especially those last few hours, it's just really important that, you try to stick with people and you just you got to believe that you can get through those last few hours.
Yeah. But like not, there's a large percentage of the field here who's only doing a few yards. So there's a question back to Warren. Like what does a typical kind of backyard result look like? You know, we've got can you talk to what a typical backyard would look like and also what we can expect to see on Coffs based on, past years?
So in terms of breakdown percentage, how far people tend to get?
We're talking about nights here, but
yep.
So
in a standard, I'm talking averages across all events globally. Typically speaking, after about 4 yards, we've probably seen about 12% of runners finish up.
Okay.
So it's not unusual to see, and we're looking at 600 odd runners tomorrow. We could easily have 70 done in the first few yards. That's fairly standard across all events. There are the runners who are here to run a single yard. 2 yards might be their best, and that's all they're aiming to do. You get a lot of people who are coming for the 3 yards, sort of that half marathon almost distance, 4 to push over that, 6 to get over that, 7 to get over that. So, typically 12% in the first 4 yards. We tend to have about, I had the numbers before. I've got them written down on my phone. If I can look them up. But
it's a lot higher at Coffs though than that.
Yeah, so
in the past.
Coffs has a lot more dropout earlier.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing. It's just fairly standard. I think that plays a fair bit to the wider work that you and the Coffs team have done to work with the community and really encourage the event as being accessible by everyone. It does allow for a younger audience, an older audience. Basically, everyone can come and have a go at one of these. It is one of those things. 12% in the first 4 yards. I think it's about 20% by 7 yards. By 24 yards, we're down to the top 10%.
Yeah.
So it's not at all unusual for the numbers to dwindle rapidly.
Yeah.
And it might feel like you are struggling early on, but that's totally normal. And we're all struggling no matter how many yards anyone's done. I'm sure Ollie, who's done 37 here, has struggled for a fair few of those. It's not unusual at all. I had another point I was going to make off that, but I cannot recall.
It's all good.
That's all right. Sorry.
So question for Stephen.
Yeah.
So you've obviously written and spoken and interviewed a lot of elite runners who are doing these crazy mileage beyond 50 plus hours. Warren is saying everyone struggles at certain points, and you've done a lot of backyards as well yourself. Could you talk through how that, I guess, wave and that feeling of struggling and then pushing through, like how do you deal with that, and what are some kind of tips and experience around managing the waves of a backyard ultra?
Yeah, I remember last year I was running at Clint Eastwood, maybe it was the year before, and I was running with James Blanton, who's one of the guys that makes the Australian team regularly, is one of Australia's best. And I made the comment to him about how it must be nice to still be feeling really good at this stage. And he said, oh, no, I still hurt the same amount as everyone else. Even though he's done in the 80s, it still hurts him in the teens. He's still going through pain. And that was a good thing for me to remember, because every backyard I get surprised how much it hurts after about 8 or 9 hours. And so I've done 31's my best. And so I always think, when I've done 24, oh cool, 24 will be easy and I'll do more than that. But I start running along the next lap and I go, next race, and I go, hang on, I've only done 8 or 9. Yeah. That's actually not that far. Why am I hurting that much? And then normally at that stage, my support crew says something about, you have run 50 kilometres or 60 kilometres. Your legs are meant to be hurting at this stage. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. And so just having that bit of perspective can often really help.
Yeah.
And running with people helps as well. And there's always something that comes out of the blue to give you motivation.
Yeah.
One year I was ready to give up. I told everyone I was going to stop. I was almost in tears at the pain I was in. And then one of my daughters in support crew said, oh, I just got a text from Mum and her younger daughter Jessie, who's coming to support tomorrow. They're on their way to come and see you at the start of the next lap. And I just started sobbing because I thought, I can't do another lap, but if they're going to come out to see me, then I've got to keep going. And so I just sprinted the next lap because I thought if I don't sprint, then I will just not finish it. And I did it in 39 minutes because I was so motivated to finish. So it's amazing what can motivate you. When you think there's nothing left, if you can just get something in your brain that'll switch it on.
Yeah.
There's always 1,000 stories that'll keep you going.
Yeah. Question for Claire. I think, was it the last event you equalled your PB, or the one at Sydney you equalled your PB? Like, I guess my question was, how are you managing that? When you get close to your PB, you start to think ahead of your PB, or you start to think you're going to beat it, or you're getting really close to it. Like, how do you manage that expectation that you always think you're going to be able to do better than you did previously? Like, it's very easy to think, I did 5 laps last time, I'll be able to do 8 this time. I did 34 last time, I'll be able to do more. And I think you went for a stage of PBing every single one, and the last ones have, you equaled your PB. Like, can you talk through that and how you...
Yeah, I planned to beat my PB, but I got some gut issues, and I was running 4 hours with some gut issues, and it was really mentally dragging me down.
Yeah.
And I was getting slower as well, and and I just lost it. And I think I could have pushed through it 100%. When you go back to the tent and you quit,
Was that on your mind as you're getting closer and closer? Like, is that what's motivating you at that point?
Yeah. But like I said, I'm locked in this time. I'm gonna push through, real.
Even if you're the last female again?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with the boys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Watch out, Ollie. Awesome.
I just want to keep going and lock
see
in.
what you can do.
Yeah, and at Melbourne, I thought I was recovered from Sydney.
Yeah.
But at about lap 8, I got some issue around my ankle, and I was Panadol and Nurofen it, and I pushed through to the 24 and then called it.
how's the recovery been since then?
Yeah, real good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Cool. I'll go back to Ollie. Maybe you could talk about how you've gone with your recovery. Like, what have you done so far this year, and how's your recovery and prep going into this?
Yeah, so I ran Sydney Backyard Ultra 7 weeks ago where I did 41 yards, and I thought I folded myself, but I ran the next day, so obviously I didn't. But yeah, recovery's been good. Done a bit of a lighter prep than I usually would just because it's only 7 weeks between races, but feeling nice and fresh, so should be ready to go.
Yeah. Nice. Annabelle, you're supporting some people out there today. Some people who have put in some long training blocks that you've been coaching them through. People bit of pre-race nerves out there. What are your advice to people who are feeling that pre-race nerve? They have a goal they want to get to. They want to whether that's a PB or whatnot. So yeah, what advice are you giving to your coaching people to help with that?
Yeah, it's all about getting your mind ready. Physically, like the haze a bit in the barn. You have to trust you've done the training and the work to get you to the best possible place to succeed on the day. So it's all about just being in the moment in the race, like not thinking ahead, because like sometimes we mentioned before, like the pain early on is worse than what you're expecting it to be. That can really throw you off. So it can you can kind of have ups and downs can happen. You can't predict when they're going to happen. You just have to go with it and know that things will change. So if it's feeling bad, it will feel good again. You just have to wait it out.
Just wait it out. Nice. Yeah, nice one. So yeah, what does prep look like for a backyard ultra? Like how no two people are going to train the same for a backyard, but could you talk through some like your kind of approach to that, what you did last year, and also how you've been training people for this year?
Yeah, so I guess we've been lucky, like because we live locally, and putting on the training runs here have been really clutch. So we've been doing day laps here, as well as some people who've been targeting going through the night have also been doing night training runs. And I think that last year that was the one run that really gave me a lot of confidence to run through the night, was to do that night stint. And I know I've given that advice to a few people targeting similar goals to me that I did last year, and that they said similar comments about that. And yeah, everyone's training is different, so it's easy to get in the trap of comparing what you're doing to someone else. And people, remember like what your race is, not your training is as well. So everyone's different. You just need to do training which you can recover from and be ready to go for on the day. So yeah, just trust in yourself and believe that you can do it. Don't psych yourself out.
Question for Warren. A couple of stats. Could you give a few, I guess, stats of what people could expect this weekend? Like at a high level, what is this event like in the stat sense compared to other backyards events, and maybe talk through, just generally about maybe Coffs. Doesn't have to be in detail. I'm not putting you on the spot with numbers.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, no, Coffs is an interesting event because it's, as I said before, that it works well as a community event that gets a lot of people interested. It's got a wide range of ages. We've got the youngest runner in Australia ran at a Coffs course last year. The 3 oldest runners in Australia ran at Coffs last year, and I believe all 3 of them are running again this year.
Yeah, they're not here right now, but they're pumped up.
Yeah. On that, we very likely will see a dozen age records beaten tomorrow. Both young, old, hopefully in between as well. It's quite interesting because Coffs tends to do really well with the age records in the younger and the older, but not as far in the middle, and that's
more competitive.
Yeah, it's it's an interesting event because while last year was the furthest the Coffs has gone, it went to 37 yards, which is by no means unexceptional.
Wasn't Ollie's fault.
It's far lower than what we would see at other events, and not all events. There are a lot that have lower numbers as well. But yeah, it's quite interesting because we get a large turnout to Coffs, but it's such a wide spread of people that we're going to see hundreds of people pushing beyond their best, pushing to their best, and just going as hard as they can. But at an event level, it may not go as deep as literally the last three that we've seen in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks. But that's not a bad thing at all. It does show that Coffs is a completely different event. It's got a totally different style to the way it's put on, the way that it's approached from runners and from the committee that puts it on, which I think is a fantastic thing as well.
And you think, as you know, you said that events are growing, and maybe one day there'll be 1,000 runners starting an event.
Yep.
But is that also affecting the pointy end? Like, where is that growth happening? Which is an interesting.
It is an interesting thing. The growth is happening everywhere.
Yeah.
It is everywhere. Obviously, we're seeing at the pointy end, the top runners are going further and further every year, every event. We're seeing, like last week at Dead Cow, we saw them push to beyond 60. The couple before that have all gone those further distances, and every single event tends to be going further than it has in the past couple of years. They're all doing that, whether or not they're small events or big events. But ignoring the guys at the top, it's everyone. The mid-range runners are still going further than they did before. The average across all events globally, people tend to do about 12 yards.
Yeah, right. That's higher than I thought.
Yeah, that's globally from the stats that I've run through so far.
Yeah.
It's about 12.2 or 12.4%. Coffs is sitting at about, I think it's about 8 yards.
Okay.
So as I said, it's smaller in terms of where it is, but that's because there are so many more runners who are going for a single yard or for 2 yards. And it's those guys that are who did 1 yard last year who think this year, I'm going to try for 2.
Yeah.
And whether or not they get there is not so important. It's the trying. But we'll probably see far more personal bests at Coffs this year than we have at any other event.
Yeah, interesting.
Possibly globally.
Yeah, okay.
And that's because it's got a lot more at the lower end.
Yeah.
And not that it's easier to go further at the lower end than it is to go further at the higher end, but there's a lot more people who are coming to it for the first time last year who did their 1, did their 2, did their 3. Great results all round, but they're the sort of people who are now reapproaching the event and going, you know what, I did do that last year. I wonder how far I could go this year. Work out what it is that made them stop last year and try to go that little bit further.
Yeah.
If there's one piece of advice that I'd like to give to everyone, and I do it out on the course constantly, especially when we get to the milestone yards, don't stop on a milestone yard.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it.
Yeah.
If you got to 7 yards, you've done you've done your marathon. If you've done 15 yards, it's 100 kilometres. If you've done 24, it's 100 miles. Do whatever you can to get out and go again, because statistically, if you did 15 yards, you jump by doing 16 yards, you jump 20% in the results, because that's just how many people will quit on a milestone.
Yeah.
If that's all you can do, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
But if you can get up and get out of that chair and just start the next yard, it's much easier to finish a yard that you start than it is to finish a yard that you didn't start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's solid advice. I'm conscious of time and the sun going down, so we might open to some questions generally. Do you have any questions from the audience for our panelists? Yes.
Yeah, hey Woz. Mate, I've seen you on Aussie Backyard Beat. Those shirts in the background, how do we order one of those?
Any particular shirt?
There's about 20, I've got my eye on.
For most events, you need to actually attend them, unless you sweet talk the run directors and beg and buy them.
Thanks, Woz.
But I have about 100 Backyard Ultra shirts if you
Oh,
want. Yeah.
wow. That's commitment. Is that all you run in?
I very rarely run in them.
Oh, right.
'Cause they're
Okay.
mostly hanging on my walls.
Oh, wow. Any questions for our guests? Otherwise, I might go with each of you like a rapid fire, one piece of final advice or one thing that you're taking into this backyard to, one thing that you're taking into this backyard to help you, go further than you have before.
I'll start because I've got the mic.
Yeah.
As I said before, I think that was basically my advice is
Yeah, yeah.
start the next yard. Don't quit on a milestone if you can't. For me, I'm just going to get onto the next yard and
Yeah.
go do my best to actually finish the yard.
Yeah.
I think this event can be a celebration of your hard work and community and spirit.
I'm going to try to sleep more so I don't have to stop because of sleep deprivation.
Interesting.
My suggestion is just enjoy yourself. We do this because we enjoy running.
Yeah, yeah.
And these events, I reckon, are the best events because you can just keep running forever. And so you get to do something you enjoy for as long as you want. So enjoy every moment, and it's fantastic.
I'm going to suck it up and I'm going to push through a lot more pain. I'm not going to be a princess and pull out. And
enjoy it as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my advice is don't DNF in the chair. Get your ass up and get back out there. Walk it if you have to, but yeah.
Solid. A wide range of advice there. Okay, well, if we could get our hands together for Claire, Stephen, Warren, Annie, and Ollie. Thanks for your time, everyone, and looking forward to seeing you all out there in action. I'm going to just say a few words about what to expect out there tomorrow. So as we touched on, we do have quite a lot of runners running out there. I think so the start obviously is just near where the blow-up arch will be in the morning, but we're actually sitting right now in the corral, so the corral kind of snakes its way around and spreads all the way from that barrier board, the yellow poles there, all the way out to the corner. There's a kind of white pole corner over there, and then right in front of the sliding doors, and then back. So yeah, it's quite a massive corral. And what you can expect is it'll be probably full all the way basically to where we're sitting, and a little bit maybe back a little bit that way. You can expect it might take about a minute to cross the line if we were standing around here. That's normal and that's what we've planned for, but that is counted in your time in the backyard. So as we head out of the corral, we do a 800-metre loop in the showground, and you will pass everyone here, so we slightly changed it so you get to see everyone at the start. But it's just important to remember that even though you're running past your crew, you can't hand off any items or pick up anything, even if that's just leaving a jumper on a railing. You can't do that. You need to carry everything with you from the start. It's really tempting to do as we're running back through the corral, but that'll be great because you get a buzz. Everyone will be here spectating. You won't have to move at all. So there's about an 800-metre loop through the showground, all on more of a road width, and then the course narrows to the Coffs Creek Walkway, which is about 2 to 3 people wide if all going out, but that is a public walkway, so hopefully we don't see others, but there will be, there may be the occasional bike or things like that, and you can expect once you get to the Hogbin overpass bridge, there's a portable male and female toilet there. There'll be a water and a rubbish bin, so you're able to pop anything in the rubbish there as a communal bin, and also take any water from the water station there. But basically from there out to the turnaround and back will be the section where you experience contraflow. That will be the busier part of the course. Runners will be coming the other way. Myself and Chris will actually be leading that race. We're going to go out a little faster, and you'll will be coming back first, and there'll be some single file signs put out there. So as you go past the overpass, it'll basically need to be merging in towards a single file for the contraflow. And then it's about a 1K section, so there's a couple of wooden bridges there, so there may be some occasional slowing on the wooden bridges. Look, overall, don't expect it will be significant. As Warren pointed out, with people doing generally smaller numbers, the congestion will ease relatively quickly as the event goes on, particularly after, say, like beyond 4 laps. So yeah, we'll see how that all plans out, but just ask everyone to be patient out on the course tomorrow. You know, losing 1 minute in the first yard is not going to affect the majority of us here. And, you know, we're all here to kind of enjoy. So just be patient if there is any congestion out there. But most importantly, a big thanks to all our trail fairies out there, raking the course, leaf blowing the course this morning. There's not really a patch of mud. Thanks to Dad also, who drained the course all through this week. So yeah, should be really perfect out there for running. Looks like it'll be a really good night. You can expect it will get cold overnight here, like possibly, you know, low, like 10 to 12 degrees type thing. You know, I'm about 15 minutes in the hinterland and it's been 6 or 7 degrees. So I imagine Coffs is probably just around that 10, 12. So can get cooler overnight once it drops. And so, but in the day, yeah, you can expect up to around maximums of 20. So it's really ideal, but can be a little warm. So just keep that in mind. We will have ice and everything. Our aid station's set up in the kitchen, but I will have a couple of waters out here too. And just a note on the tally boards. So yes, the tally boards are here, and yes, that's our way of tracking the event. Volunteers will give you a sticker as you finished each lap, and you put it up on the tally boards. Some people are quite dispersed with their setups. So look, I'm okay if crew were to assist with doing the tally boards, but once the event you know, gets beyond 8, 10, 12 yards, volunteers will be able to jump in and assist. It just depends on how many numbers we have at that point. But yeah, we will be able to, you know, I'm conscious that as the event goes on, time is more critical. So we will have kind of step in and help with that tally board process. But yeah, enjoy. Look, just want to wish everyone a big good luck. From myself and everyone on the Trail Runners Committee. Look, thanks to those who are returning again and supporting us again, and those here for the first time, welcome. Yeah, really looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be well, a fantastic weekend, perfect weather for it. Got a great course, and yeah, we're really here to help everyone do their best that they can. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Keelan.
Cool.